Hello, I'm Nicole, and welcome to my little corner on the internet, and welcome to my channel. I wanted to document this part of my painting journey, firstly, to, as I said, document it, and also where I am currently. As an artist, I'm obviously making art and all sorts of art all the time, but I wanted to share my story to remind people and to show people that not everything is a linear path. I tend to forget that a lot of the time. So that being said, I'm still learning so much about painting, and making this video was actually very helpful because it put me in a more learning mindset. Painting has always been a challenge for me just because it's very unfamiliar, and I tend to want to hold more control over what I'm doing. I really hope that as time passes, I can look back on these videos and see more progress in how far I've come in my painting journey. The painting I'm working on in this video is a play on counting sheep, because I love sleeping and I love being cozy in my bed. So, my history with painting. Let's start at the beginning. So, sophomore year of high school, 2016, I got discovered like a little celebrity in my high school ceramics class by my high school art teacher. So she saw my skills when I was glazing a ceramic cat, and that's what got me into a portfolio class. And at my high school at the time, to get to AP portfolio and portfolio, those are the advanced classes, you had to do beginner's art. If you got selected to move on to the portfolio class, you had to be like marked off and approved. So I took a ceramics class, got discovered, I had to show my art to the AP portfolio teacher, and then I basically went from ceramics, skipped art 1, and got bumped into portfolio my junior year. So my senior year, I could take AP art, which I got a 5. 2 people in my art class did it. But yeah, so painting a ceramic cat is what got me into my portfolio class. So yeah, so I basically skipped art 1 to immediately go into a portfolio class my junior year, and that's where I encountered acrylic painting. And yes, I did dabble with acrylic painting, dealing with the medium as a child, you know, like finger painting, that stuff. But actually using it in a more technical sense for a painting, I think I did like a handful. I could count on my fingers probably. During high school at the time, I was doing a lot of graphite portraits. That was my jam. That was my thing. I love drawing people. And at the time, I was really, really into drawing people. Even now, like, I'm more focused on figures. I'm more focused on figures rather than portraiture, but I draw people all the time. But yeah, but at the time in high school, I was so slow at drawing. My typical turnaround period for a drawing was 3 months. 3 months. Do you realize how long, like, 3 months is? That's like 90 days. So yeah, I was really, really slow. Wow. I'm not that slow now. So now as a young adult, you know, I'm 25. Now looking back, and I can definitely see that I was more focused on graphite drawings because it was more of an instant gratification rather than when it came to painting and the whole thing. And like, I will not go on a rant, but I'm gonna get into it. I don't like oil paint. I mean, I don't like acrylic paint. It's not something, I don't know, I just, it's not me. It's not me. And I really tried for a long time. When I got assigned a painting in my portfolio class, I dreaded it. I despised the whole process. Literally, it took forever to set up. Mixing paints was annoying. And my main problem with acrylic paint is that it dries so fast. It dries like, it dries so fast. Like, that's literally the whole point of acrylic paint. It dries fast. But literally the whole process to me was a drag. And at the time, my skill levels were not to where I wanted to be. I was definitely much stronger in graphite drawings, but when it came to everything else, I was okay. It was a bit of a struggle, especially with color. And I don't know if this makes sense, but like my brain could not understand, like I could not wrap around my brain the whole idea of color theory and just colors. Like I was like, how does that even work? So my brain literally was like, okay, we're doing monotone graphite drawings, right? Or like color theory? Girl, she was not even in the picture. I did not know what color theory was in high school. So I mostly went on anxious instinct. And speaking of anxious, in high school, well, throughout my whole life, I've always dealt with anxiety, but it really ramped up in high school. So yeah, so I was dealing with a lot of anxiety issues and just having the pressure of, like, I don't know, being discovered by my art teacher to then being put into an advanced portfolio class. And so I'm there and everyone's like, where'd you come from? And I'm like, I don't know, I just, right? I just had a lot of pressure because I felt like I had a lot of pressure at the time, and I did put a lot of pressure on myself because there was a lot of people coming up to me, talking to me more. You know, I was like a little shy little creature in the background, and now it was like, I'm in the public eye of high school. So I was dealing with a lot of anxiety issues, and there was a lot of people that were really amazed by my art, and I put a lot of pressure on myself to keep making realistic art and to keep doing portraits. I really like portraits, but I put a lot of pressure on myself to keep up making detailed portraits as well as art that was being graded for school. So those two things clashing together really made my anxiety like skyrocket. But overall, I tended to stay clear of color and most things I couldn't understand because of the immense pressure that I put on myself. Fast forward, we're in college now. Fast forward to college me. So now my skills overall have risen, right? I've gotten better at painting, you know, understanding it. My brain understands the concept now. During my college time, I needed to take art classes, obviously, for my art degree. So I decided to face my fears and take a beginner's painting class. And I did go into this knowing I was going to have to do acrylic painting. And I really just wanted to see if I could face my fear of acrylic paint because it was a whole mess for me. And I passed the class and I even took an advanced painting class. During this time, painting was something I was a little more comfortable with. I didn't hate it, but it was more like I was now comfortable approaching painting with my skill level up, and I had a much better understanding of color theory. So overall, my thought process was more like, okay, I can paint, but do I want to paint? So I didn't despise it anymore. I didn't despise it with a passion anymore, yet it was still something I didn't gravitate towards. So, time skip. Now, after graduating college and a bit after that, so today, in the year 2024, I actually started oil painting 2 months ago. And the painting on screen is the painting that I actually started. So over the time period, my painting journey mostly dealt with acrylic painting, and I hate acrylic paint. But oil paint, on the other hand, is, and I'm going to read this from my script, like word for word, wowie holy mama, right? I love oil painting. I literally thought, because of acrylic paint, I literally thought I hated painting. Literally thought I hated the medium. I was like, get away from me. But as soon as I found out about oil painting, game changer. I actually prefer a more slow drying medium. So oil paint is like literally perfect for me. And also it is so smooth. I just love it better. The consistency, everything blends so much easier. It's like butter. It's so smooth. Like it's perfect, right? Maybe it dries a little too slow. So overall, I went from hating painting with a passion to understanding it through school and the internet, as well as switching from acrylic to oil paint. I should also mention that I use an oil medium called Liquid. It's by the brand Winsor & Newton. So now, with those changes to painting, I love painting. It is so fun. Skin tones still kind of scare me just because I'm like, what's going on, right? But now I get the best of both worlds, right? I get the smoothness of oil painting and the oil medium to speed up the drawing process. So it's smooth like butter and it dries fast. So usually, like, by the end of the day, like, I could work on a little section, and then the next day I could work on another section. Like, it's just, I found what works for me and I love it. So painting now is something therapeutic that I can do, and I usually put on a show in the background, or most of the time I'll listen to music, and I just enjoy myself, and I really enjoy my painting sessions now. So to conclude the telling of my journey and the experience with painting, started off despising painting because I didn't understand it. I felt out of control, and also wanting validation that others in school praised me for. To now, today, to now loving painting the entire process. It's very therapeutic, and it's something I look forward to when I plan on doing painting sessions. I'm actually planning on working on like 1 or 2 more paintings just so I can have a good like rotation going on. Because like now, I'm trying to push myself to do a little bit more art than I usually do. So having that good rotation between the different paintings can help me like be interested in, like, if I get tired of one thing, I can move on to another. If I get, So I have sketches in my sketchbook and some in my iPad. So I have like ideas that I've drawn up, literally just sketches. So now I'm actually going back and seeing which of those sketches I would actually like to turn into a painting. But yeah, so thank you for listening, and I appreciate you being here, and bye.